All right. So pretty much it's kind of just a matter of the things that I'm dealing with that I'm starting to realize, especially me now being home from school.
Hmm.
So even though I've been in Deal Sniper for about like 7 to 8 weeks, I'm kind of now being able to transition into this a little bit more full time.
Right.
And I realized I haven't even been that great at building rapport with the agents or at least pushing deals forward past the offer stage.
Hmm.
Um, After sending offers, I usually follow up via text, and then sometimes I might even wait too long, and then sometimes they'll call me, and I'll obviously introduce myself, like hello, realtor, so I'm Malique, whatnot, and then sometimes they'll say they don't even see the offer, and then obviously I just I engage them into checking their spam folder.
Okay.
So usually once they check this spam folder, I'll get a call back or a text later that day or so. And then for whatever reason, when they don't want the offer, I present the idea of a cash offer. And I don't know why I keep doing that.
Oh, well, okay. All right. First of all, let me start from the beginning. So, just to make sure I'm on the same page as you, you've been doing this for about 7, 8 weeks with Deal Sniper, but because you were focusing on school and other stuff, you realized that you weren't putting what you should be putting into Deal Sniper in order to make it work. Now you realize that, and you want some direction on how to make the necessary changes to do that.
Yeah, especially being a little bit more structured. I mean, I have my CRM and I've been kind of learning how to usually kind of just I guess use it a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I think the main thing I would say that slows me down is probably the follow-ups, if anything.
Okay. And which part of that is slowing you down? How so?
So for whatever reason, I like to wait maybe like a longer than a day. But even though I know I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this a day out. I'm gonna send this offer and then I'm gonna follow up the next day. And then like for whatever reason, I just don't do it the next day.
Are
And
you
like
afraid to get on the phone
uh, honestly, I'll say I kind of got a little bit less nervous talking to realtors. It
because
kind of
you
just
realize
happened over time.
they're just a regular person like you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of them honestly, I had some nice conversations with some of them, but then they just seem to ghost me. And it's like, it seemed like they were showing interest. I'm asking questions, what maybe owed on the mortgage or whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
commission, closing costs, etc. And then sometimes I don't even know if I'm really asking the right ones. But even aside from that, they just seem to ghost me. Like this one realtor, um, I was walking from class like 3 weeks ago, and we were definitely talking it on for about like 2 days, and then after that, I don't even know what happened. He just disappeared. I called him, I texted him, I didn't get anything.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what we can do. I mean, if it's something, what are you trying to accomplish? Let's start there. What are you trying to accomplish? What do you want out of this?
Well, I said I want more clarity and like just pushing, well, yeah, pushing deals forward with more confidence and clarity, and then building actual relationships with agents instead of just making it feel transactional.
Okay. So what I think you're going to need to do, first off, if it's a confidence thing, like, oh my, what do I say? How do I carry myself? How do I posture myself and all that stuff? Because I'm telling you right now, if you have real estate agents where you send them a creative offer and they're talking to you about it, they have questions, you're clarifying things, you guys are having a conversation. It may not be all rainbows and butterflies, but they're talking to you. Like they're not being an asshole, put it that way, right? and
Right.
then and then all of a sudden you get ghosted. You either said something wrong, or after talking to you they're like, I don't feel very confident that this is a real thing, and then they don't want to talk to you anymore. So, and that's only when a real estate agent is talking to you, and then they just stop. That means something happened in that conversation that rubbed them the wrong way. They didn't like, they caught wind of it, and they're moving on. And that happens a lot with people who are newer. So when it comes to what to say and the confidence to say it, knowing what to say and understanding what it means. What am I trying to accomplish when I say this? That's why if you notice, like a lot of people who are in wholesaling who have a Discord or some sort of following or whatever, they're on live and they're not doing trainings necessarily the way I'm doing them. They're like doing live calls, right? You see
Right.
that all the time. I don't do a lot of those. And here's why. Because you guys can hear what I'm saying. That's no problem. You guys can mimic what I'm saying. That's no problem. But if you don't understand it and why you're saying it, copying me is going to get exactly what you've been getting. You're going to say the words, but because you don't really, you're not pushing it with the same amount of oomph that you would if it was 100% ingrained as to what's going on, then if that's the way you're feeling when you say it, imagine how they're feeling when they hear you say it.
Got you. So
That's
I
why
was
I tell people what to say and then explain to them, this is why, this is what you're trying to accomplish. Because when you can understand it, you don't have to copy my words. You understand what the point is. So you can say it in a way that you naturally talk, which will give you more confidence, because instead of trying to copy me, you're just saying what you would normally say, just trying to convey the person of the point that you're trying to make. But you're doing it in your own voice, not mine.
got you. Okay. So this was what, like more like the matter, I guess, more self-awareness, being on the phone, whatnot, text, emails, whatever type of communication it is with the realtors, so you can really at least get them, or keep them interested or whatnot,
I
is what
mean,
I'm get.
the goal is to not scare them off. Now, here's the thing. You could talk to a real estate agent and you can talk to them and educate them on what's going on, or even they understand what's going on. But for this particular deal, it's not going to work. For whatever reason, their seller isn't going to do it. But they like what you have to say. Now they're sending you, hey, it won't work for this property that you emailed me on, but I got this one over here. They may be interested in it. Let me give you the information. But if you say something and you don't sound very confident, you don't sound very sure of yourself, well, if you're not sure what you're saying, they're 100% not sure what you're saying. So they're not going to waste their time.
Got you. Yeah,
So
I guess
let's
I could say that's what it's been then.
so let's break down now, and I understand that you were in school, so that's fine. I'm not harping on you, but I can't manage what I can't measure. So the last 7 or 8 weeks, roughly, you don't have to be exact, but roughly, how many offers a week were you sending out?
I can literally tell you the total amount of offers that I sent within those 7 to 8 weeks. And
Mm.
I thought it was way more, but it definitely wasn't. And literally, it's been around, hold on, let me see. It's less than 80 offers, and I thought it was more than that. So when I was even in school, I'm like, okay, I figured I ended up sending like 15 offers one night, maybe 10 the next, maybe five the next, and then I kind of just end up falling behind.
Gotcha. So as far as the program is concerned, and I know you know this, but I'm gonna say it because we're on the call. You're asking for help, so I'm gonna help you. Um, it's supposed to be 100 a week.
You're right.
So you're supposed to send out 800 by that time, and you only sent out 10% of that.
Right. Yeah, I know.
But I'm no, hold on. That's not all bad. You're in school. We get it. I'm not trying to give you an excuse. It's just the reason. So people got other thing in, real world stuff to do on top of trying to do this. So I get it. But let me point out a good thing. How many conversations, even if they ghosted you, how many actual conversations did you have with real estate agents?
Honestly, I'd say I had about 15 of them, to be honest. It really did boost my confidence.
Good. Now
My
let me
first
show.
few calls, I was just like, man, what am I doing?
So you talked to about 15 people out of the 80 that you sent, right? You had decent conversations with them.
Yeah, the other ones they're kind of like short, and then they just kind of disappeared. But yeah, I had 15 solid ones, I'd say.
Okay, so let's look at the positive. What is our formula? Our formula is you send out 100 a week, and out of those 100, 5 people will respond to you. You sent out 80. Granted, it wasn't in a week. It was over 2 months because you weren't sending out that much. But you sent out 80, and you talked to 15 people. So imagine had you sent out 100 a week. How many realtors do you think you would have talked to? You'd have
Yeah, I
talked to 10,
definitely would have talked
10
to a
times as many.
bunch.
Yeah. And out of 150 conversations with real estate agents, you would have got some deals closed. But again, I'm not saying that to be like, bad you. I'm saying that to you had some situations to deal with school. That's done. And good for you for realizing like, oh damn, I'm really not working this system the right way. That's like some uh uh what is it called? What's that circle called? That's some intervention shit, you know, where you have to admit you're the one doing something wrong first, then you can fix it. So good for you. So I'm gonna tell you what to do, or I'm gonna tell you what I would do if I were you. You can take it and run with it, or tell me I'm stupid and do something else. Here's what I would do. You obviously don't have an issue getting on the phone with a real estate agent. Even if you don't know 100% what you're saying, you have no issue. So your issue isn't necessarily confidence. There may be a little bit there, but we'll get to that. It's not necessarily confidence. It seems to be it's either what you're saying or how you're saying it. So here's what I want you to do. What CRM are you using to track your stuff? Are you using Google Sheet or you have like an actual CRM?
I'm using a Google Sheet.
Perfect. So I want you to start a new tab on that Google Sheet, or start a new Google Sheet, but I would start a new tab. Keep everything together. It's easier to keep track of. Start a new tab and put today's date. It's early enough. Put today's date.
Okay.
Pick a market, whatever market you want to be in. Make sure you follow the rules for the market to choose. And then I want you to send out offers. I want you to send out 20 offers today. I don't give a shit what you do the rest of the week. We're trying to build habits. It takes about 2 weeks to build a habit to where it's like you're just doing it now. Right. So I want you to send out 20 offers today so we can start strong. And when you send out the offer, the moment you hit send, I want you to fill out the Google Sheet, so you put in the name, the realtor name, the address, the date, same as you always do. When you're done filling out the Google Sheet, call the real estate agent or text them, but you should call them. If you're not afraid to be on the phone, call them. But you're going to do it right then and there before you send out another offer. And you're going to say, hey, Malique, this is Sean. I just sent you an offer on 123 Main Street. I sent it to this email address. I just want to make sure you got it. That's it.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Either you just sent it. It's been 5 minutes. So either they got it or they didn't get it, but they know that it's there. And then if they say, yeah, I got it. Awesome. If you have any questions, give me a call. Have a great rest of your day. And then you put your notes on that line. If they didn't get it, oh, it's in there. Is that the right email address? Yeah, that's the right email address. I'm just busy right now. Or it could have went to my spam. I'll check and I'll let you know. Awesome. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day. And that's it. Then you move on to the next property. And I want you to do that 20 times today. And then tomorrow, I want you to jump on a one-on-one with me. And then we'll catch up and we'll go on to the next spot. We'll just make this a little mini series of me helping you out.
Okay, that sounds good.
And here's another thing I want you to do. And this is more important than sending out 20 offers. I want you to memorize the entire cheat sheet in Discord. I want you to read it. And obviously, you don't have to memorize it today. But I want you to read it over and over and over and over and over again. And I want you to do that. I want you to read it at least 2 or 3 times today so that tomorrow, any questions, hey, Sean, I read the cheat sheet. I saw this part. What does this mean? I don't get it. So that I can help clarify. And then we're going to go through some back and forths of how to respond to real estate agents when they say certain things and how to word it properly. And the whole idea of that is going to be helping me help you create your own cheat sheet of your own. This is what I say every time they say this to me, but it's in my words. It's in Malique words, not Sean's. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Because I can give you a script, but it's going to be the way I talk or the way we talk. We are crazy. You guys aren't like me. So we need to figure out what you need to say that sounds like you, because that's going to be the most confident version of what comes out of your mouth if it's coming from your own brain, because you came up with it. You know it, you understand it, and you know exactly how you can best explain it to someone else. And if you can articulate something to someone else to the point where they get it, that's going to raise your chances of closing the deal. So that's where we're going to start.
Okay, got you.
Any questions?
I had a sticky note.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I think in one of your videos you mentioned, at least mentioning to the realtor that you're a wholesaler. How could you kind of present that you're a wholesaler, or could I just be direct and just say, "Hey, I hope you know that I 100% am going to be wholesaling this deal, whatnot," or
okay. So typically I would answer that question for you. but it's in the cheat sheet.
Okay.
So here's what I want you to do. When you read it 3 times, ask me that question again tomorrow, and then tell me your answer, and then I'll tell you mine.
Okay.
That'll help get your brain thinking of how to word it. My answer to that exact question is in the cheat sheet. It's not labeled like that, but if you read it and you understand what I'm saying, then it's in there. So go through it. If you don't find it, no big deal. I'll point it out to you. But I want you to go through it with fresh eyes and look for it. Because if you can find it, then that means you understand that whole thing, which is what we want.
Okay.
Okay?
So yeah, so I figure, yeah, those questions I have right now, yeah, they must be in the cheat sheet then.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So then, you know what I want you to do? Were you on the training on Monday?
Monday?
The live at 6 o'clock Central. Were you on that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I joined a little late though.
But were you on the whole thing? Because it was like 3.5 hours long.
I was on probably for like the last couple of hours, and I think you guys ended up staying on a little bit longer when I had left.
Okay. All right. Here's what I want you to do then. Read the cheat sheet. I want you to do everything that I said. But before you send out the offers, I'm just assuming you have time today. Before you send out the offers, rewatch that entire training. Because I rewatched it and I want you to read the cheat sheet a few times first. Because that way, when I talk about it in that video, and I would point out where it's at, but I don't know exactly where it's at. Plus, it's kind of spread out. So you're going to have to watch kind of the whole thing. Just put it on in the background somewhere. Anyway, read the cheat sheet first, because then it'll help click when I actually talk about it in the training. You'll be able to reference what I'm saying and then kind of make those connections. And then again, we're going to go over it tomorrow as well on our one-on-one. Just hit me up when you're ready.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, tomorrow we can do it at the exact same time. If you want to do it at 10 a.m., that works for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's what we're going to do. And I'll help you out.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Not a problem, dude. Is there any other questions that don't pertain to what I've already told you?
Honestly, no, I just needed some gauge, so I appreciate it.
You've done a really good job by realizing that you weren't working the system properly. And here's the thing. If another 30 days goes by from today and you're still only at 80 offers or whatever, you're still not following the program, I think you should cancel Deal Sniper, because it's just a waste of money. And I want people to make money, not waste it. And I'm not saying that to be a dick. I hope it's not coming off that way. What I mean is that even though I don't know you, I'm truly interested and invested in you being successful. And one thing that's not going to make you successful is you wasting money on a system that you're not going to use. So if you're not going to use it, save the money, cancel it, and I'll try and help you a different way.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I do have one more question.
What's up?
So when I send out the offer, right, and then it has a term length, can I just put a balloon and swap that with the term length?
Absolutely, you can. Just make sure the balloon fits the purchase price range.
Okay, got you.
And that's on the quick question spreadsheet right below the cheat sheet channel.
Okay, sounds good.
It'll say balloon ranges, and it basically tells you if your purchase price is between this and this, then your balloon has to be between this and this, and so on and so forth.
Okay, got it. Well, thank you, Sean.
Not a problem, dude. Not a problem. I will talk to you tomorrow. You're going to hit me up at 10:30 or 10 o'clock, right?
Yep.
All right. I'll talk to you then. See you later.
All right. Yep.